well or if it's too loud.
Oh no. I can't do the fake snake jump scares. They make me sad.
The what?
Look at the GIF.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
It's not saying that you're live yet, Toby.
You might have to.
Oh, I
Might
love
refresh
this. Oh, poor guy.
That guy ran right into that bush.
Oh god, I have an ad.
Who's playing Clash Royale?
Gosh. Oh no, he runs right into the bush. Oh. Oh no.
Wait, is someone playing Clash Royale? Or
I
is that
heard-
just a...
The Clash Royale noise.
It's an ad.
Oh.
Oh.
Clash Royale?
Oh wow, I'm really behind on the stream. Can you hear me talking?
Mm-hmm.
In
I
the
can hear
video?
you talking.
Yeah, I've never seen it set up this way. Is this a new
This is
thing?
the first time, yeah. This is why I needed extra time.
It looks great.
Thank you.
I show 30 hours played on the Flat Neverwinter Society.
30.
wow.
What?
That's so cool.
And that's what I see when I go to when I go to recent games.
Recent
Members
games.
since, yeah. Well, I haven't hit Flat Neverwinter Society yet. The next game, so it says members since 5/22/18, hours played 30.
What?
That's what it says.
Where? What are you reading?
Roll 20. I logged on the Roll 20, and you know where it
Oh.
pulls up all the games you have available,
Oh.
and it tells you your overall play time.
I've never looked at that before.
You got 30.
I had no idea that was a thing. Does it sound okay, Tegan?
Yeah, I could hear it fine on my phone. So,
Okay, cool.
although I guess I didn't look to see if you can hear you. So maybe I should check that. Because there have been some streams where we just can't hear you, but we can hear everyone else.
Yeah, that's the key. Because I noticed I was moving all of the other streams into a playlist on YouTube. And there's no session 8, and I think that's the one where I had no audio being picked up. So it didn't get recorded. But I can't remember. Maybe I just forgot to move that one over and it's just gone forever.
Aaron Hernandez did.
What?
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Forever, Aaron Hernandez.
I don't get it. But okay.
It's from a.
Oh, your stream is down now.
My stream is down. It's up on my desktop.
It says it only lasts 40 seconds.
Yeah, I'm live on the desktop.
Let
Let me
try
see if I
again.
can see you.
Okay. Continue watching live. This is weird.
You're live, Toby.
Okay, thank you.
Whoa, why do I look so weird? I have my own card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you can hear.
We
That's
have
cool.
no...
Although my picture's not up in the stream,
Yeah,
so.
we have no
Toby, this
ticket.
is so cool.
Thank
Oh, that's
you.
so neat,
Oh,
man.
look, Blake's here. And his own little card slot over there.
Oh no, it cut your V off.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you gotta move him over a little bit.
Let me fix that. Let me see if I can just nudge it a
No.
tad.
Well, thought it.
No, that's not what I want.
first age and first battle.
There we go. And we'll make Valera a little wider too, so she matches.
Can you do a filter on me? Make me prettier?
Yeah, can I have the cat
Do the
ear filter?
Snapchat filter so you look like a girl.
Oh, is that a thing? Can you do that in OBS?
That would be so funny if you gender swapped us.
That would make it. If I need to set that up so that all I have to do is hit buttons and to do all the different NPCs.
Please no.
And you
Please no.
just need a voice changer and a Snapchat filter.
when I do that gender swap thing in Snapchat, I look exactly like my brother, and it's really fucking weird.
Are you guys
What a-
twins or
What a
something?
coincidence.
Wait, how does it make your skin so dark?
Oh yeah. My brother is
Brian!
black.
We are live. This is a family stream. We do not permit that kind of.
It's
Discussion.
2019.
The
Yeah,
DM will
exactly. What
remember
do you
that.
mean? You can't have a black brother in 2019?
Wow, Tegan,
That is not
racist.
what we were
That
saying
is
at all.
racist.
Oh my god.
There's my online DM screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cost
I need
cannon.
this.
Cost cannon.
Do I need this? This helps.
You
That's it. That's our intro music.
Mhm.
Tegan, are you coming back?
What?
You're a bunny.
I just refreshed.
I can see
You
her.
haven't been able to see me this whole time.
No,
I can't see her.
maybe
either.
I need to refresh.
I can see you.
How about now?
Now I can see you.
Okay.
There we go. Now I've got everyone.
Yay. Friendship.
All right.
Natalie convinced me to be an NPC in her D&D campaign, so
Oh, that's exciting. Are you gonna
I'm
be
very
Valera the
excited.
NPC?
No. She's awesome. It's gonna be good.
Are you guys ready?
Mhm.
For another
I'll never be.
exciting episode of.
mean-
Oh, hang on, I'm not ready.
Technically, we've got 4 more minutes until
Are we-
8:30.
Are we starting?
So-
Is it starting now?
And we
The
always
goal-
historically start after
the
8:30,
goal
so
is always 8 o'clock. And
Yeah.
Sure it
and
is.
so when do I get here? 7:30. When do we start? 8:30.
Oh,
in
Tegan
my
just rolled a one.
defense, I like to avoid Duriel's nipples for as long as possible.
I feel like that's a mistake.
It is a mistake.
I'm just gonna bump the frame up a little bit so it covers them.
Don't you dare.
I need to restart the intro music.
Restart it.
Is it not? It didn't load for me.
Okay.
That's not good.
Wop, 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 wop.
Just not playing on my end. That's a bummer.
It's playing over here.
That's good.
Let's see if it's playing on your Twitch.
It's not. If I can't hear it, it's not on Twitch. Because my Twitch just picks up what comes out of my headphones.
Mm.
Okay. Well, anyway. Everyone roll a d20.
yay!
Dang it.
Waste my only good roll. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
11.
17. Told you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blake, what
do
happened
this
last
every time.
time?
No, you don't. I do this every time.
I
To be fair, what happens is somebody starts it, misses about half the stuff, and then everybody as a group finishes the last half and misses half of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I want to see if I made notes on the last one. I didn't. I don't think I made notes for this last game. Let's see. That you guys can actually read. Most of the time we spent last round sleeping. And it seems like during each of our dreams, we all had a different encounter. And we don't know what anyone else's encounter was.
No,
We haven't-
Sorry, you're telling the story, not me. You can be wrong.
no, this is the halfway point. Go ahead.
Uh, I shared what my dream was.
Okay. What
I mean,
is it?
how? I don't remember, but I did. I remember sharing it.
No, at least he's honest.
Anyway, So we all had some dreams that were specific to us, and that's all I really remember happening that I can recall now. So
Well,
Albert, go
Duriel
ahead.
bought some badass plate armor.
Oh,
and then
Plate
yeah.
armor.
That's
there was a
right.
kerfuffle between Howl and the shopkeepers, but he just didn't know how to speak their language. So,
Who?
Ryan and Ryan, the brothers in arms.
Yeah, that was it. Do you remember
and
their last
apparently,
name?
apparently, I have a
I thought it
magical
was
sword that I didn't know about.
Arms.
No.
The Arms brothers.
No, they're the
Ryan
brothers in
Arms.
arms, but they're Ryan and Ryan Harms.
Harms. That's right. That's right. Did you come up with that on the fly? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't expect you guys to go shopping.
What? I will always go shopping. I want
know,
items,
I
man.
know. That's how Duriel got away with really cheap plate mail.
I know he got
Ridiculously
a
cheap plate mail.
steal. He got a steal.
What is the metal made out of, Duriel, on that plate?
Steel?
Durasteel.
That's a lot
Carbon
better than what I was
fiber?
coming up with. No, go with Durasteel.
Mithril.
Go with Durasteel now.
I don't want to go with Durasteel.
Durasteel's a
puns.
battery, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Is that a
is.
battery?
No, it's
Okay.
Duralast.
Duralast.
But Durasteel
Ow.
is a brand of steel that is well known in the Kingdom of Ambercrest.
I thought it was Mass Effect.
It comes from the northern region of Ambercrest. This is common knowledge. This is why you guys all
Oh, of
already
course.
know
I knew
this.
that.
It's common
I knew that.
knowledge that it comes from the the Trades Kingdom. Or not Trades Kingdom. Just it's a region north of Ambercrest that's controlled more by the government's more controlled by the merchant guilds there and the trade guilds. And the
Okay.
Durasteel
Oh, hey, Tegan figured
comes
out how to
from
turn
the
on the
land
gender
of
swap filter.
Duraville. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh.
Albert?
Wait, what happened?
Welcome
Alright.
back.
Welcome back.
So the Durasteel, Duriel got some Durasteel plate armor. Found out his sword is magic, and or at least something was wrong with it. They didn't want to buy it. And that's basically as far as we got. Now we're gonna go talk to the commander. I think was the last step.
I got a short bow and some arrows, and then I realized afterwards that I didn't want a short bow, I wanted a crossbow, but it's not a big deal. My fault for having a botched wish list. You know, didn't read my own handwriting.
Okay, is that everything?
I think so.
I think so too.
Sorry for
I think most of what happened last
Finishing your
time was
story.
done with individual people. So
Yeah.
the recap was really just we had individual stories, and
I
Went
really
and did your
tried to rob
weird thing out in the woods.
I went out. That's none of your business.
masturbated out in the woods. Uh,
I walked in on it or something. I don't know.
my special friend is gone.
He was collecting good berries.
Oh.
Oh. Didn't you give me a good berry too?
Yeah,
I
on the
seem
way
to remember
back.
that happening.
Yes, because everyone else was having breakfast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah. I really enjoyed our shopping experience. It was great.
Good. So,
Not just because I got plate.
think- Just because you got plate?
I said not just because I
Oh,
got plate.
not just because of the really cheap plate mail.
It's made out of actual plates.
made
Just
out of
ceramic
Durasteel.
plates.
Oh,
Durasteel
that's what it
plates.
should have been. Oh, Toby, how did you Man, you're usually so quick. That would have been perfect.
Mm.
It's just ceramic kitchen plates.
Well, we're done for the night. That was a good session. You can't top that.
It really accentuates Duriel's nipples.
No, it's just got little holes, just little circles.
And it really accentuates Duriel's nipple.
2 little saucer plates. That's where you put your teacups.
Mm.
Alright.
Little sugar, little milk.
Milk?
Toby, where's our music?
Milk.
You know, it didn't load for me either. I don't know. Let's try a
Oh,
different one.
no.
We'll get some different music.
All this by Kevin MacLeod.
Did this one work?
And the
Yeah,
Shadows
I
by
can hear it.
Tabletop Audio.
I
Let's
must
turn
have
it up.
muted all
Oh.
of the audio because I remember it not playing for me last time too.
I can't hear
Stop
it either,
now.
and it
It's
played for
stop
me
now.
last time.
It stopped. Yeah.
It was playing out. Stop.
Oh well.
Play more music.
Something's playing.
Oh, it is. I hear.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I can
Here.
hear it now. I didn't hear it at first.
Does this
Horses
one
and
do it?
buggies?
No.
No,
water.
it's water.
No, that's not what we want. What about that?
Rhythm showed up when we needed.
You're welcome.
This'll work.
Hello?
This is adventure music. No, Rhythm is the music channel, Tegan. It's not a real person.
Hello?
What, Rhythm's not
Why
playing.
won't you
Oh, I
respond to
can't
me?
hear Rhythm because I have it at 4%.
Yeah, I did turn mine up too.
I have it at 3%.
I muted it.
This is
We're
perfect.
not on the
this
boat
is,
anymore.
This is better. No, this is better. This is what they're chanting as you walk into the soldiers are doing their morning chants with the train.
Oh, there are trains here?
There's trains here. A lot has
What?
changed since you guys
Clear, apparently
left and
expanded.
traveled through the mountain caves.
I do like the trades.
You can hear large beasts in the background letting off these horns that are reminiscent of. You think trains, but you're not sure how you know that.
Perfect.
Trains even been invented yet?
I don't know. It's been a long time since you've been to Ambercrest, and so much has changed
Damn.
here. I can only imagine so much more has changed there. This is getting loud.
Is that the Titanic? That's like.
What are
Okay.
you playing?
It's time to stop.
I just said play Age of Sail. I played the same thing that you were playing.
That is
It's
not
time
the
to
same thing
stop.
that I was playing.
Alright, hang on. Thanks.
Alright, I'll put my thing back on.
Yeah, put your thing back on.
This is my thing. Can you hear my thing?
Yeah,
Alright.
I hear it.
So you guys were heading into the, I think you guys were heading into the tent to talk to, was it Commander Rennick
Karana Rennick.
and Mary?
Mm-hmm.
I believe Duriel and Howell were already there.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
some
beats.
guard came and grabbed us.
Yeah,
Or
and
told us
then
we had
so
to go.
Valen and Valera, as they came back into the camp, were told that you guys were being looked for and you headed over that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it is morning now. You've all had a nice hearty breakfast, except for Valen and Valera, who shared breakfast and had Valen's good berries.
It's like lambus bread. It's good for the whole day. It's like lambus bread. There we go. Oh, wrong thing.
So you guys walked into the tent. I'm gathering my thoughts. I wasn't actually prepared with what I was going to say. I just knew kind of what was going to happen and was hoping the conversation would just happen. And it's not. So I need a second.
Hello?
You wanted us to spend more time talking about the good berries.
No. Okay, we're going forward. So as you walk in, Commander Rennick goes, "Good morning. Glad you guys could join us. I hear you found another orb while you were out."
We
Who
did?
told you that?
Mary?
Okay, just want to make sure it's a test.
Do you want to roll for intuition?
No.
Another orb. Are there other orbs other than this one? What do you know about these orbs?
Well, I know that there are at least two since you guys found one. Mary tells me that it was stolen by her apprentice Piff, and then you guys found another. I was hoping you could tell me more about it. Do you guys know anything about these?
Well, we found him. I mean, no, we've not really discovered much. You really not heard anything else about other orbs since you moved into this area?
We hadn't heard anything about an orb at all until you showed up with one.
Then why would Pip steal it and drug his friend to take it?
Mary goes, "That's the real question."
Rennick, this whole camp, this whole expedition, Do we know anything about previous expeditions?
Rennet goes, yeah, don't you guys know anything about this place? This is, for a very long time, this whole continent has been off limits. We've been able to see it from the coast of Ambercrest, the western coast of Ambercrest, but every ship that has tried to cross the waters has disappeared or sunk or never returned.
Until now, and now you've got a ship patrolling the edge of the island because that's how we get back here. So,
Well, there's actually a lot of ships going back and forth to and from the island now. We usually have at least a couple a day, if not more.
how long has this expedition been out here?
Just a few months now. It's been less than a year. Loch Fear actually set off from the town that you guys know now as Loch Fear's launch. It was just a little nameless village back then, but it's grown a lot since it is the launching point to get over here.
But sorry, go ahead.
Loch Fear led the first expedition that actually got over here and was able to make it back. And ever since then, we've been following the same path through the waters that he took, and we haven't had any trouble.
No, that was only a few months ago, or is that was longer ago?
No, that was a few months ago. It's been less than a year. I would say
Okay,
I would wager
there's-
about maybe 6 or 7 months.
So Loch Fear's expedition was the first that we know of our people coming to this continent.
Yes.
Now we found an ancient temple here, which means there was civilization here before Loch Fear. So Loch Fear wasn't the first to set foot here.
Really?
It looked like a temple to Sylvanas.
Did you find people?
No people.
Well, I mean, kind of. Piff and the we
Well,
found Piff. We
found
found
the remains
zombies.
of people.
There were zombies.
What did the
Yeah.
what did they look like? Could you tell like what they were, who they were, where they came from? Are they from a rival kingdom?
No, we didn't talk to them. I tried to start a conversation, but then they started talking about religion and old women, and Duriel lost it. I thought we also saw smoke at some point. Didn't we? Didn't we think we were coming up on a campsite?
We did come up on a campsite.
We did come up on a campsite. Was that where
But
the
it-
zombies were?
It looked pretty fresh. It didn't look old, and the information was like someone who was also a part of an expedition.
Were we the only group that you hired to go out there?
No, I mean lots of mercenaries have answered our calls, and lots of other people are coming over trying to make a quick buck or explore themselves and see if there are treasures here. Of
Are you
course,
keeping
with a
it
new
accurate?
with
Go
a
ahead.
new land, there's always rumors of treasures and powerful artifacts and whatever else might come with it. You know how it is. People start talking and they play it all up, and all we've found so far is dirt and trees. A bit of wildlife, but nothing much, nothing remarkable. Until you guys showed back up with an orb, and now you've found, Mary tells me, you guys and Mary both confirmed that you've seen ruins. So this whole new civilization is completely brand new to the rest of us.
We're the first to report that. This has only been going on for a few months. Is everyone coming in through Loch Fear?
That's the only way to land so far.
Are you keeping an accurate roster of people coming to and from the island or the continent?
He looks at Mary and some of his other soldiers and then looks back at you guys and he goes, we've tried to for the most part, but since we don't actually... We've had a lot of trouble controlling the waters with the few soldiers that we have over here. Most of our soldiers are not even well trained. They're mostly settlers and scouts. We're not exactly equipped with a lot of combat regiments to keep the people in order, if you know what I mean. So there have been a lot of mercenaries and merchants and whatnot who have brought other people over, and we can't keep track of all of them very well.
Where is Loch Fear now?
Loch Fear went back to Ambercrest to report back to the king.
Do you have you found any connection to Sylvanas here?
Sylvanas,
noticed-
the nature god?
One of the zombies had a patch. I have it in my pack, so I can pull it out and show you. One of the zombies, who looked like he'd been here for a while, had a patch with Sylvanas' symbol on it. So I'm assuming this used to be a island dedicated to the worship of Sylvanas.
Interesting. This changes a lot. We were under the assumption that nobody had been here before and that this was just uncivilized land. We were hoping to claim it for Ambercrest, but if what you're saying is true, I'm starting to wonder if a rival kingdom has found a way over here and has kept it a close-guarded secret.
Hmm.
We're gonna have to change our patrol routes and lack of security, so to speak.
I believe we also had an agreement on payment.
We did
Yeah.
for a dead monster. Have
How
you brought
about
one back with you?
a neutralized monster?
You've brought this back with you?
Well, the monster was guarding the sphere, and we had the sphere. We think that's why she was so aggressive. Now that we have the sphere and that's removed, there shouldn't be any more reason for it to attack people.
Roll
Are you-
for persuasion.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, aren't you like kind of lying to him right now? Because she started attacking the people with the axes.
Yeah,
the tribe
but
dog.
But keep in mind, I'm a druid. So
Oh, so
I
He
want to
doesn't believe
protect.
in axes.
But as a druid, my goal is more to. So as 11, Toby.
He looks at you kind of squinty-eyed and he goes, "You know what? We haven't had any issues since you came back and said that, but I still don't fully believe you. But we'll give you some of the payment. How's that sound?
What is some of the payment?
We were going to pay you 100 gold to each adventurer to take care of this threat, but since you guys have brought no proof back, all we have is the circumstantial evidence. Thinking 40 gold each sounds fair."
Okay, let's talk about this in another direction. How much will you pay me to not take that orb back and put it back with the aggressive wolf, and start attacking your folks again? Look, man, we went out there, we confronted the monster. It was not a short, quick visit. You know, there's at least a risk pay there. 40, less than half of what the wage was agreed, is not going to be enough.
Roll persuasion.
+7. I was wrong. It's not +6. It's +7.
Mine's +6. You should be higher than mine.
He goes, "All right, we can stretch it a little bit. The best we can do is 50 gold for each of you. We really,
350?
resources are very tight.
you should. How much gold?
50.
50 instead of the 100.
50
Alright.
each.
So now that we think the creature's neutralized, and we have more information that we've gathered for you, what do you need?
Mary goes, "Well, that's the question. We've got a few next steps now. One, I want to discover what this orb is, what its purpose is, but I've never seen anything like this before. As far as I can tell, it has some sort of magical properties, but I don't know what they are, how to access them, whether they're helpful or dangerous, or where they even come from. We also need to find out what Piff wants with the other orb and where he might be going. If he knows more about this place than we do, that can be very, very dangerous. If he's reporting to an enemy kingdom, that could be very dangerous. We don't know what this is."
Do you have
That's
any ways that you know of to track Piff? Because we need that orb.
She says, "I was hoping to be able to do it with this orb, since they both seem to have some sort of magical properties, but I've been trying all morning everything that I know, and I can't get anything to work."
And do you know of anyone on the island who might have more knowledge than you?
Not here on this land, but I think that my mentor, Lars Coe, might be able to help with this. He was a bit of an odd one back at the school. It's not common for those studying the magic arts to also be interested in subjects outside of that. Most of them tend to focus all of their studies into their magic arts and their specializations that they pursue. He was a history buff. I'm hoping that if he doesn't know a lot about the magic of this orb, that maybe he's come across something in his historical studies or his study of folklore from different cultures and from the past, and might be able to tell us something about this.
And he's on the mainland?
He's on the mainland. He's in a village a little south of the kingdom of Ambercrest itself. It's maybe half a day's journey from the kingdom. It's a little city called I should have been ready with a city name. Crap.
City
Atlanta.
town.
He's in a city called Atalanta.
I love it. Okay.
Albert doesn't.
Well, and so, Captain, when does the next ship leave for the mainland?
I think we've got a ship for the soldiers going out this afternoon, but if you look around town, you may be able to find a merchant ship, or if you head down to the shore, you might find someone leaving earlier. Are you guys planning on heading back to the mainland?
Guys?
Yeah.
We are now.
Yeah, we are. By the way, we went on an expedition. Do we also talk about pay for mapping out a route to get past the mountains? Because we've got a path.
Rennick and one of his soldiers both look at each other, and then the soldier looks at you guys and goes, "You guys found a path across the mountains?"
I've got 2 paths across the mountains.
2 paths. My scouts had reported 1 path, and the last few that went that way never came back.
Well, your scouts are. It doesn't matter. I've got. I mean, do you want the map or not? Obviously, you've not found a successful way through. I can give you 2.
Who has the journal? Do you have the journal or do I have the journal?
The one that
think
you
I
guys
have-
found in the campsite?
I think I have the journal.
I think you've got that because you
think,
picked up the
yeah.
pack.
I do have it did have a map in it, did it not? Because that's how we found where we were. in
Yes,
relation
it
to the
did
mountain.
have the map in it. Yes,
So
it
we do
did. Yes,
actually
it
have a
did.
physical map.
Yes, we do.
So
Well-
I'm gonna go ahead.
And my character's background, which I've never revealed to anybody, including the DM, is professional cartography. So we can command a premium.
Roll a d20 for persuasion on that one. If you get a natural 21, I will give that to you.
Oh, damn.
It's
You were.
not.
It was close. That was, a lot closer than 5
I
could
mean,
have been.
it's still not bad. It's what 13.
Yeah, 13.
Professional
I'll let-
cartography.
So we do have a map we can sell. That's not a problem. But we also need to get back to the mainland. Are you guys? First of all, Mary, would you be willing to come back with us to help us find your mentor and protect the orb?
Oh, yeah, we're inseparable. She's coming.
Mary says, "Actually, I was planning on gathering some of the troops here and trying to start and take a group across the mountains and go after Piff.
Okay.
We were going to slowly explore through those ruins, see if we could figure anything else about it, and then see if we could find a trail that he might have taken."
So we have 2 options, guys. We can either 3 options. We can split up. 2 can stay here, look for Piff. 2 can go to the mainland. We can all go to the mainland, or we can all stay here and look for Piff.
I feel like Piff's got a powerful artifact.
Anyone else?
There's also seems to be some pretty cool mystery here that I want to figure out. And if there's an ancient civilization, there's probably ancient treasure. So
Guys?
Rennick
Valera.
says that's just the kind of stuff that all the other treasure hunters say.
The ones that disappeared?
Not many of them disappear. A lot of them just give up and head back after a couple of
oh,
weeks.
you mean all the ones that didn't find 2 paths through the mountains? Yeah, yeah. Rennick.
Valera says that she thinks that someone she's been looking for is on the island, so she doesn't want to leave just yet.
Why don't Mary says so Mary says, "I would really like to send this orb back with Lars Co. I feel best with it in your care, but if you'll allow it and you want to stay here, I would like to send it back with some of the soldiers. If that's the case."
Mm,
Send the orb?
The orb.
No.
So I would be willing to go alone with the orb to find her mentor. But that would mean splitting up. I don't know how the DM feels about that. With 3 people being in one place and 1 people.
Yeah.
I'm okay with us being a group. Toby, DM Toby, would you want us to stay together?
I'm leaving this up to you guys, and I will figure it out.
Okay, well I'll go back to the mainland. Duro, you start swimming. Howell,
I
you
will
look for
I
people.
will, I'll go back to the mainland as well then. Like if you're gonna go, I'll be one of the ones going with.
it would be easier to stay together. We would need to learn more, and the mentor would know more.
Rennick says,
Valera wants
"Look,
to stay.
I know I've got a ship going back with some of the wounded soldiers later this evening, and I'm sure that there'll be some merchant ships going this afternoon. Why don't you guys take the day, talk it through, and think about it? And you don't have to make a decision right now."
Stop, Mary.
Yes.
What does your
Yes.
what does your mentor look like?
Oh, he's much older. He's a lot older than he looks, but he's aged well. He's got white hair, very clean on top. He always kept it very clean when I was tutoring under him, and he had a long wispy beard. He lives up on top of he lives in a tower. I guess he doesn't just live in the top, he lives in the whole thing, but he lives in a tower, and his workshop is in the top of a tower overlooking the city of Atalanta.
And you trust him?
With my life. I studied under him for over a decade.
Him that I'm worried about. It's the strangers we're sending the orb with.
How long would it take us if we went to speak with him and then to return here?
Travel-wise, how long was it to get over here by ship? Wasn't it like a day or like half a day or something? It wasn't like
it was about a day, I think.
I think it was about a day. So it'd take you about a day to get back to Lockfear's launch from Lockfear. So like if you left this evening, you could be there by tomorrow morning. And then from Lockfear's launch, you'd have to go back over there's a range of mountains that cuts off the castle of Ambercrest that like runs through part of the kingdom of Ambercrest, down into the forest of I don't remember what I called it. I think it's on this big map I've got here. No, it's not on this big map that I've got here. I don't remember what I called it.
Could we not send a
I was just about to
messenger?
say. I was just about to say.
Yes.
Let's send a missive.
Let's we can send a detailed explanation of the orb, what it looks like, where we found it, and see what he says.
And
if he's interested, we can get him over here, because I think that he'd be better use to us here than he would at his home.
Or we might need to go to him, especially if we find both orbs. So I agree. Yeah. I think the first thing we need to do is send a missive on the next merchant ship leaving and find a way to get that to him. So, Mary, do you mind helping us get a message to your master?
Mary says, that's a really good idea. Actually, I can use a scrying stone to send one to him this morning.
What the fuck?
Okay, but Mary, do you mind you and I going off and doing that now?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's take care of that now. Why don't the rest of you... I feel safest with the orb in your hands. No offense, Rennick, but we know where you guys came from, and you don't seem to have any ill will with the orb, and you've been around it already. So any effect that it might have on you, it doesn't appear to have done anything. And you're familiar with the orb, and you were there when we found it. Piff had soldiers with him. Soldiers wearing the kingdom's uniforms. So who knows who else we can trust in the camp. It's not that I don't trust your soldiers, Rennick. It's just that if it's happened once, I don't want to risk it again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Mary, let's go do that now. You guys can still decide on stuff if you need to. Mary and I are going to go send this message.
Rennick, how about that pay?
Brian's been waiting this whole time.
Okay, give me 1 second. Keep going. Keep getting money. I'll be right back.
You are very straight to the point, aren't you?
Oh, wait, speaking of getting money, Kinsey forgot. I hope she sees this. Kinsey forgot the phrase, and this is gonna. Well, I can't say it because you're live, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Never mind. Bye.
Okay, I really want to know.
Yeah, me too.
Well, she forgot the phrase. I can't say half of it, so I'm walking away now.
Type it into chat for us. And tag Kinsey. He's gone. Rennet goes, of course. Go talk to our financier. He's in the tent just over the way, and he points off towards the tent. He says, his name is Banks McGee.
I thought you were gonna call him something like Mr. Moneybags, but that's pretty good.
Oh, that would have been much better. No, it's Banks McGee now. It's stuck.
All
I've done
right.
the
Well, I'd like to
damage.
go talk to Banks McGee.
I'm gonna, in the meantime, go look for a merchant who might have strings for my loot that I
Okay.
found.
Duriel.
I'm gonna go
Look for an old
Talk.
lady to go hassle somewhere in the camp.
talk. Excuse me, I'm talking. I'm gonna go listen, see if I can overhear anything about this, the guards or soldiers saying anything about waylaying any orbs or anything on the boat.
Waylaying any orbs?
Stealing.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
we're not
stealing.
stealing the orb.
Okay.
And also, I'd like to question some guards as well, see if they know anything about
yeah.
any dirty guards going
Ask
on,
them about their beliefs.
and then rip out their throats.
Okay. I don't know who I want to start with now. Let's start with Howell.
You just
All right.
did
Mug.
God. Oh my god.
So I walk into the financier's tent.
All right.
Thanks, Mickey.
Who do I see? What do I see?
You see, all right, so you walk into the tent. There's a couple of guards outside. You see a man sitting at a he's got round. Yeah, we'll give him
That's funny.
that goes from a saying to a job offer.
Attack women,
Wow.
get paid. That's oh, that's
I love
great.
Kenzie. She goes, "What's the phrase? Attack money, get paid, or attack women, get paid." I was like,
Wow.
Wait, keep going.
All right.
So the financier's tent has two
So
guards
you
on the
see,
outside.
it's got a couple guards on the outside. They look a bit better equipped than your standard guards.
Mhm.
A bit hardier. Their armor looks a bit more defensive.
Won't be needed for this situation.
Were you gonna steal the armor?
No.
Okay. That's fair.
That
would've
little
been very-
sly smile.
I gotta be careful. I'm afraid of giving him ideas. He's sitting. It's kind of dark in, but there's like a few candles lighting up the place, and you can see behind him on the back wall are like some chests and crates, and a couple of cages with other crates and stuff in them, and they all have locks on them. He's sitting behind a it's a pretty nice desk. Looks like it's made from a sturdy wood. It's been well carved, well designed, and he's scribbling on parchments. He has a little abacus on the side, and he's working. And as you walk in, he looks up at you and goes, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yeah, hi, I'm Howell. I was sent in here by Rennick to collect payment for a job.
Commit.
Oh,
To not commit a crime. To collect payment for a job. He said that you'd be able to pay out my party and I. We were sent to dispatch a monster. The promise of payment at 100 gold per person. I've got a 4-person party.
oh, yes. I remember hearing about you guys. I'm surprised you got back. When did you return?
Just today, last night.
Were you successful?
Yes, we were.
Good. Now, do you have the official document from Rennick?
No, he didn't send me with the documentation. Instead, I have this signet ring for the house Rennick that he said that would be information enough for you to complete this payment.
Is Rennick's ring still in it? The finger still in the ring?
I have a
Roll
signet ring.
for deception.
One.
That's
Come
plus
on.
7.
8.
Oh my.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Wait, I can't say my thing. I'd say attack women get paid.
What the attack?
Women.
He looks at you kind of squinty-eyed, and he goes, "Uh-huh. A signet ring from Rennick, huh? Show me. Let me see it." And he holds his hand out.
Yeah, I hand it over.
He looks at it very closely, and he goes, "Uh-huh. All right. Yes, I see. The family crest is right up here. Very well. And how much was the pay?"
It was 100 per. We had a head of 8 or 4.
Commit a crime. I mean, get some money.
Very well. You seem a little nervous, laddie.
Nervous? I seem nervous.
That's what a nervous person says.
Yeah,
Stalling? Am I stalling? Who's stalling?
My instinct is to say something silly instead of something serious. I don't know why.
He looks at you and he goes, "Oh, I understand. My son is the same way. I hope he'll grow out of it one day."
I my folks hoped the same for me. I feel like I turned out okay. Matter of fact, I'm part of an adventuring party that killed a giant wolf, so.
And he robbed his parents anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Give me just a second, sorry.
You're fine. Y'all, my rolls have been garbage.
Story of my life. But mine are only good when I have to tell a stupid story.
Mine are good in combat. I've got good combat rolls.
You do a lot of damage in combat.
Which is like my least favorite part of D&D. I really like the NPC interactions.
Yeah. So he goes, "Party of 4, you said, for dispatching the monster." He goes, "Give me just a minute." Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to bump the mic with my headphones.
Come in!
I thought that was you hitting it with your face.
No, I turned
just
my head.
bonk.
I'm so close to the microphone, so Brian can hear me because he keeps his volume down so low. So I turned my head, and my gigantic headphone bumped it.
Did the financier just knock himself out by leaning under the table?
No.
That's a dream come true for Hal.
No, you couldn't roll that high enough to be that lucky.
I don't know.
This is like, that would be like Howell's dream. Trapped in a dark tent all alone with a knocked out financier and tons of crates and chests with locks on them.
Oh, God.
So he pulls a key ring out of his pocket, and he said, as he's doing it, turns around to a chest behind him, and as he's doing so, he says, "Do you want this all in one pouch, or do you want to split them up?"
Go ahead and give me 4 pouches.
4 pouches. Very well. He opens one of the chests, pulls 4 pouches off of the trunk lid. They were like inside the trunk lid. And begins to scoop what looks like golden coins into each of the pouches.
What looks like.
Interesting addendum.
Yeah, that really so why would I not be super...
They look like humans. It's a weird addition to just people walking down the street.
Do you want to try to see what they actually are while he's doing
what
this?
What they
currency is
actually
that?
are.
All right, we'll roll perception. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my coworker wants me to run a session, so I'm trying to remember. Hey,
Plus two for perception.
Okay. So this chest is a little obscured by both the desk and his body. You could kind of see the glint on it, which is why you thought they were gold coins. as you stand on like your tiptoes to try to get a better view and step forward just a little bit quietly to try to get a better view of what it is, you see a chest full of just full of gold coins, and it looks like they have the symbol of Ambercrest on them. So this looks like currency from the kingdom.
Sir, just curious, what currency are you paying me in?
Like gold from the coffers of Ambercrest, of course. What
Oh,
other
that's
currency would
fantastic.
we use?
What other currency would you use? I don't know, nickels and dimes? What are you, boonie?
I like how you
Um,
questioned
a
him.
little
and he
funny and
questioned
goes,
back to it.
"What is
Where
a
are you at?"
nickel or a dime?"
My man, when you're as well traveled as I am, you'll know. Do you
I
mind
mean,
passing one over here?
we've heard of the. He goes, "Sure, give me just a minute. I'm almost done here." And he goes, I've heard of the currencies from some of the other kingdoms, like the kingdom of Sohorn, off to the southeast, uses horns. Hi, Kiki.
Hey, Kiki.
The kingdom of Kiki, way to the east, uses canickles. Are those what you're referring to?
Those would be some of them, yeah.
Oh, fascinating. Maybe they've introduced new currencies. They go through kings so often, and each of them likes to leave their mark. He closes the chest and locks it back up and turns around and hands you 4 bags.
Like, I hope you won't take offense to this, but I'm just gonna double check real quick.
Sure, absolutely.
I'd like to inspect the quality and quantity of the currency.
Okay. Roll for perception again.
Hey, +2.
Wow.
So you open one of the bags and look down into it, and you see the familiar glint of light gleaming off of the surface of a freshly minted gold coin, straight from the coffers of Ambercrest.
So many answers.
Okay.
That was a lot of
Yeah.
adjectives. I was trying to draw that out as
Yes.
long as I
Yeah.
could.
If I mean, I'm gonna assume that my character is able to tell if it's false gold or not. I don't know. What background would I need to have to?
I mean, I would think, being like a roguish, thiefish guy, having to see people in the past, that you would be able to inspect something and figure it out by, like, look, feel.
So my character is confident this is legit currency,
It looks like legit currency, yes.
and it's 100 per bag.
I mean, you'd have to count it, but it feels about like what you would expect a lot of money to feel like.
Okay. Does my character feel like this looks to be about 100 per bag?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I thought that was covered in the. This is what
Well,
feels like a lot of money.
Well, okay. I just want to make because I said inspect the quality and quantity. I meant just try to get a rough idea of the number in
I
there. I
mean,
feel like
compared to
could
the
tell
money
between
that you have,
50
how much
and
gold?
100.
So how much gold do you have now?
A lot.
127.
So it feels kind of similar to that
Okay.
per
All right,
bag,
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
a little less.
All right.
I mean,
I
without
leave.
counting it, you can't be confident. You'd have to,
Sure.
So
I thank you, sir, for the payment. It's been a pleasure doing business. Give Rennick my love, and I hope you have a good day. I
Sure.
do, Toby. I do just want to say that you can go to whoever else, but I'm taking half of the gold out of each of those bags because my compatriots were only paid 50 per, and they have no idea that I was paid
Who are
100
you
per.
talking
So are you doing that right now?
Outside of the view of the tent, at least. I'm not going to do it inside
to?
the
Who are you
tent.
talking to?
Okay, so you step
Just to Toby, you
outside.
guys
So you
can-
step
Oh,
outside of the tent
Toby.
and off around
Oh.
to the side, and open up one of the bags to take some of the money out. And as you stick your hand down in it and you grab some of the coins and you try to pull it out, your hand doesn't come out of the bag.
What? This is fascinating.
Is he put tar in the bag?
Is this
Because
your
that would be
character
great.
or Brian talking?
Oh.
I'm
Both?
trapped. This is wonderful.
So my hand's stuck in the bag.
Your hand is stuck in the bag.
All right.
You can hear the coins.
I-
You can feel them. They feel like real coins.
So, can I investigate further?
Sure. What do you want to do? Stick your
I
hand
want to
in
try
another
to.
bag?
No, I'd like to take a knife to the bottom of that
I
bag.
would love to see you walk into camp with 2 fists.
How did you get them on your
Oh.
feet?
So what do you do?
So you're taking a
Ryan?
knife to the bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna try
All
to
right.
cut a hole in the bag so I can push my hand all the way through.
So as you take your knife and try to cut through the bag, it doesn't seem to make any discernible marks on the bag itself.
All right. Well, I turn around, and go back into the tent.
Mm,
He Banks McGee is sitting back at his desk, scribbling
Banks
on his
McGee.
on the parchment again, and he looks up at you and he goes, "Yes, can I help you?"
McGee, my hand's stuck in this bag. What's going on?
Of course it is. You think I'm actually gonna give somebody without a parchment from Rennick himself a bunch of gold as payment for a job I don't even know if you've completed?
Yes.
I imagine Howell like shaking his hand like a cat with tape on his paw. Right?
Oh, Freya the other day. Oh no.
He goes, "I'll tell you what, why don't you go and take that to Rennick, and if he'll vouch for you, I'll release the bag."
Fine. I'm going to Rennick. Can I have my ring back, please, McGee?
Sure, here you go. Be sure to show it to him when you get there.
Yes, I'll tell him all about this. So I get my ring back.
You get your ring back.
Okay. Is it still my turn? I feel like I'm taking a long time.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
I go back. I'm going back to
I'm
Rennick.
enjoying this. You've already got one hand caught. Let's work on the other.
Yeah, I want to go talk to Rennick.
Banks McGee is badass. I mean, for a tiny
should-
dude with an abacus, he's
we
got
should-
it.
We should latch onto this character and make sure we drag
Yeah,
him along.
yeah,
on our-
We have Banks
You
McGee
need
in
to keep
every
on
city.
doing.
Like the nurses from Pokemon, they're the same in every city.
Yes, yeah, it's a good
Banks
idea.
Banks McGee the second.
But they've got like a hive mind going on.
Yes.
Yeah, he
It's
always
funny.
knows. He always knows. It's
Funny
like
you should
the
say that.
doctors from Seinfeld.
Funny you should say that. I
So
approve. This is
you
excellent.
you head back up to Commander Rennick's tent with a bag of money stuck on your hand, a ring in the other hand.
I'm not showing the ring to Rennick.
As you walk into the tent, Rennick is busy talking with some of the other commanders, going over a map of the land. And he's at first seems a little frustrated until he looks up and sees who it is. He goes, "We're in the middle of a meeting. What do you? Oh, what do you need?"
I went to your financier to get our payment, and it gave me this.
Can you tell me why
Attacking
Banks the
bag.
bitch did this to me?
Rennick looks at it and he starts laughing. He's very defensive with the payment. What did you do? And then he looks over and he goes, "Oh, I see the issue. I forgot to hand you the certification of payment."
You did indeed. So I'd like that, and for my trouble, I'd like a bonus.
He goes,
Why? Sorry, go ahead.
He hands you the certification and he goes, "Very well. Here you go. Now you can go and get your payment. Just show this to him and he'll take those bags off of your hands."
Okay, what about the cost of my
Pride?
Dignity.
no what is it called when in a lawsuit when you get money for like emotional damage? What is that? Pain and suffering.
Oh.
He pauses for a second and he goes, "I'm just curious. How did you convince him to give you something in the first place?"
My word. I mean, I guess he just believed me. Well, I mean, he should have. You told me to go in there and talk to him, but yeah, I let him know that you offered us 50
Most-
coin a head, and I asked him for that. He gave me these 4 bags, and then I get my hand stuck in the bag. You know, I'm a professional. I came in here to do a job. All right, my time is money, and you send me over there. I get this prank pulled on me, and I have to come back in here and get this from you now. How do you expect us to keep coming back and doing more work for you? You think you'll keep any mercenaries
keep
on
bumping
with
that.
this kind of behavior?
This sounds like a tech support call.
Roll persuasion.
He gets a 2.
Come on. Fuck!
What is your bonus?
7.
It's
7.
a 7? Wow.
Yeah.
He just kind of laughs and he goes,
so hard.
well, I'm surprised he took your word that far. He must have not slept very well or something last night. He's usually very, very by the book. Of course, he tends to be pretty strict with most of the soldiers and he's very monotone, a lot of people say. It's like he doesn't have a sense of humor, but he likes to play pranks on those that he likes. And maybe he likes you. Just take this root back and he'll fix you up, no problem.
You didn't answer my question about the bonus.
Tell you what, I'll work on your bonus. We'll discuss it with Banks McGee, and I'll pay you later tonight after you guys make a decision. Is that fair?
I've got a boat to catch. I want to get out of here.
And I'm in the middle of planning an entire outpost and potentially prepping for an invasion from an enemy kingdom.
So help me to stop wasting your time. Write an extra number on the end of this parchment, and I'll go collect my money.
Drew, how you doing?
Oh my gosh.
You've had your fun. I've done a job. Let's just call this thing quits. Give me my pay, and we'll
Roll persuasion for that one.
All right.
Much better.
+7.
That's a 20.
That's a 20.
He opens up the certification. He makes a quick scratch, and then he goes, all right, look, there's an extra 20 gold for you in there. Are we done?
We're done. Thank you so much.
Get out.
Enjoy your plane.
Get out.
Don't forget this.
Can Howell, can you try and grab it with your coin can?
I reach out with the bag to him.
As you reach out with the backhand, he laughs a little bit and sets it on the bag, and you watch as it falls into the dirt.
And at this point, while he wasn't looking, you've managed to get your other hand into the bag, so you have to like clamp it between the two bags and walk out with it.
I reach down in a huff and storm out of the tent. I grab the parchment. I reach down in a huff and grab the parchment, storm out of the tent. I guess can we fast track the other stuff? So I go to the financier's tent.
You go to the financier's tent. He releases the bags, and he gives you 4 bags, 3 of them with 50 gold and 1 with 70.
You put your hand in that bag, McGee. All 4 of them.
He has 4 hands?
Two feet.
Can we retcon this so that McGee is a 4-armed banker?
No.
He's a Spider-Man.
He's not Goro from Mortal Kombat. He he locks eyes with you. He kind of chuckles a little and smiles and goes, "Don't try to play me again, boy."
Howell, Brian, you're a rogue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rogues come with, like, we all have different kits. You should come with a forgery kit. You should have been able to forge all that.
Hang on. I don't
He
think
could
I
if
do.
he knows what it looks like.
If Blake had a superpower, it would be telling important information 2 minutes too late.
I didn't want to say it until.
By the way, you could have saved his life if you just did this.
Don't
I
get
have
shot,
something called
man.
Thieves' Tools, but I think I had to pick a forgery kit if I wanted
Yeah.
one. And I didn't go with that. I went with some other stuff instead.
Didn't you go with like a
The signet ring is one of the things I got.
signet ring? Didn't you go
Marked,
with like a
marked cards,
marked
weighted dice,
cards?
because I
Yeah.
want to do like more gamification stuff.
He wants to trade
And
Pokemon cards with people.
Okay, so I have our gold. I leave. I got my own 70 gold, and I'll go meet the others so I can distribute their money.
Okay. Let's do Duriel.
Okay. I basically walk around camp and I look for
People to murder.
a larger group of like guards or like a collection of townsfolk that are like security, basically. You know what I mean? So guards, actual guards,
Okay.
like the barracks.
So there's guards posted outside of a lot of the some of the major sections. There's, you can see like little troops of like 2 or 3 guards walking around patrolling areas. Some of them are leaving the camp and walking around the woods. Some of them are just walking around the camp, like the merchant district. There's a the western, like the southwestern side of the I keep calling it a camp, the outpost
I'm waiting
area.
for murder.
You know, is where a lot of the soldiers stay, and a lot of the mercenaries will make their temporary home as well, because there's a lot of barracks over there, and it's pretty much just whoever can find a bed can take it. Soldiers have priority, but there's plenty of extras for other guards and soldiers and mercenaries and whoever else shows up. So there's lots of them. There's a good chance of having soldiers over there. You can see some of them sitting around like little campfires and tables and stuff, playing games, talking, relaxing.
So I go up to the like a slightly larger group of guards
Okay.
as to like gain influence. And I just go up to them and I ask them if they've, you know, what kind of day they've been having, how has their routes been, and how has their stuff been.
Are you still covered in blood?
No.
Have you taken a shower? Duriel, last time I saw you, you were covered in blood.
We've slept. It's rained several hundred times. Where I'm clean.
I don't think it's rained since you guys got back.
I don't think it's rain, man.
But you guys had a long rest.
But also, like, yeah, how long has it been since we actually had a fight? It was zombies last, and that was
Yeah, but you
a
guys were
long time
traveling
ago.
the entire time. You weren't.
And then we also jumped in a
You
river.
did jump in the river. That's true.
We did jump
And we
in the
got
river.
through that.
Right, you're
That
right
would
about it.
hopefully wash some of the stench off.
You're right.
Now I would say that your smell is not super discernible over the other smells in the camp.
Okay.
So
I didn't even bring that up, Blake.
Tegan, your whiteness is blinding me.
I'm sorry. I just opened up Google. That's why I wanted to put it on. That's why I wanted to invert the colors.
it's a new look for her band that her character's starting. Whitest bards you know. So you walk up to this group. There's like 5 guards sitting down around a campfire. One of them is stirring a pot of food. The others are just kind of relaxed, talking. There's a couple. One of them's like sharpening a sword.
Okay. I walk in and
that's right.
I say,
You asked them. You asked
yeah.
them how their patrols were, their routes were, how their day is going. One of them, they stop talking and they go, "Hey, well, it hasn't really started yet. We're on the evening patrol today. Are you one of the mercenaries here trying to make a quick buck?"
yes. I say, yes, but I'm also looking out for the lives of my fellow soldiers. And I say, what have you heard of the troubles in the woods?
They kind of look at each other and they go, "Which ones are you talking about? Are you talking about the monster that's been terrorizing folks out there, or the scouts that died?"
Both.
We heard that a group of mercenaries supposedly took care of the monster, but I don't know if they ever came back.
And I tell them, I was part of that group of mercenaries. The problem with the monster is that it is still out there, and it's actually a threat to the townsfolk. Something needs to be done.
The youngest one that was sharpening the sword. So the one sharpening the sword looks like the youngest in the group. And he kind of looks up at you with like a little bit of awe in his eyes, and he's like, "You saw it? What did it look like?"
I saw it. It was a dire wolf, large and deadly. It also had a child. It also had a child, which means there's most likely a chance that they could be reproducing, which could cause a serious threat to Loch Fear.
There's a couple of gasps around the campfire, and they say, "Does Rennick know about this? He needs to know."
Rennick knows, but some people just don't want to take action. Some people choose to be passive in our fight to have this place safe for the children. There we go. That's a good one.
For the children. You went the
That's a good
Republican
one.
way. That was good.
Did you say that? Did you say that last part out loud?
No, because that wasn't in a Scottish accent.
It was a little bit of a Scottish accent.
How
he
can we
mumbles
spin
it.
this?
He
The
mumbles it out
children.
loud.
It's for the children.
Or like, what's his name from what is that show? The youngest little brother in the middle, like whispers everything to himself.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Not Malcolm in the Middle. There's one called. It doesn't matter. Anyway, are you trying to persuade them to do something?
Trying to,
Convince
yeah,
them?
inspire / persuade, I guess, is a good way of looking at it.
All right, let's do another persuasion roll. We've been doing a lot of those.
It's a lot of freaking persuasion rolls.
That's a lot of persuasion rolls. There's a lot of persuading going on.
So that's a 14.
So the soldiers kind of look at each other and they go, "Oh, wow, well, we'll warn the other soldiers and keep an eye out for it on our patrols tonight. I think we're going into the woods anyway."
I say, why wait? I will lead a group. Come with me. We will defeat this monster and make sure that nobody's ever threatened again.
Right now?
Right now.
Can we at least...
What are you waiting for? For you to be attacked in the middle of the night
Can we
on your patrols?
at least finish breakfast first?
Of course. Nobody can fight on an empty stomach.
So one of the older ones looks around at the other guys who look kind of hesitant. They look ready to go, like they've got concerned faces, like they're getting ready to get like hyped up and go, but they're hesitant. And he kind of looks at them and he turns and looks at you and he goes, "If we're not back in time to report in for our patrols, we'll get in a lot of trouble."
Yeah, these are guards, not adventurers. They're not exactly.
These are soldiers,
brave.
but I mean,
They're-
kind
they're
of the
soldiers,
same
they're not.
difference here in the town.
I'd like to. I'd like to keep trying to inspire them. I say, I know Rennick. Rennick knows the importance of our work, and he knows what's out there. We've told him, as I've said before, passiveness will not get the job done. We need to take action.
Give me a second.
Okay. I was trying to see if I had any like abilities that inspires.
So he looks at you and he goes, "So you're telling me you want us to risk our jobs and our necks to go after this dangerous, dire wolf that's out in the woods? By ourselves, just the 6 of us?"
One second. Not just the 6 of you. I will be with you.
Well, yeah,
and
there's 5 of us and you.
Yeah. And I go, that's more than enough. Capable warriors such as yourself, this should not be an issue. Can I touch him on the shoulder and cast heroism on him?
What does heroism do?
A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability.
This is great.
So you think that they're afraid, and you want to inspire him to.
Yes.
Fair. Fear of losing your job. Fear of repercussions. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You can do it, and then roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
So I'll give you. How's that sound? I'll give you that effect. You can roll persuasion
Sounds
with
perfect.
advantage because you cast heroism on him. Is that a spell slot or is that a cantrip?
That's a spell slot.
Oh, it is a spell
So
slot.
I've lost one spell slot, yeah. But I
Okay.
still have 2 left. So it's a 9 or...
And a 1. Damn, not a 1.
Close.
What is
So
your?
that is-
It
what is
was
your
almost
bonus?
a 1.
That's 15.
15.
That yeah, so 4 is my bonus.
Okay.
But that's without the... Yeah, no, that's everything, I think.
So he looks around
I'm
at the
gonna-
troops and he goes, if we take care of this monster and bring it back, we can collect that payment for ourselves. And
I'm gonna
Rennick
leave
might
before I
even
vomit.
promote
Give me 1
us.
second.
You're right.
I don't think he's okay. We're going to see him like in the dark in the back.
Sorry.
He ate some
Anyway,
bad
I'm
berries.
sorry, could you repeat what the guard said?
He says, he looks at the others and he goes, if we go and take care of this monster and bring back proof that it's dead, we can collect that payment for ourselves and Rennick might even promote us.
And I say, that's the spirit. This town needs more heroic people like yourself to fight the battle against this ever-growing evil.
Turiel, well done, dude.
So
Masterfully played.
one of the others goes, we might even get off of patrol duty.
I stand up on one of the tables and I say, join with me, brothers and sisters. Let's take down this evil so we can cleanse this land and have peace for our children and their
Wait,
children.
Hang on. Wait. We need music for this.
It kind of feels like I'm watching Les Mis when the French Revolution is like, you've got Angela and he's going through his whole like, we're gonna fight the government, yeah, we're gonna win, and then they all fucked.
All right, give us your speech.
I get up on the table. I say, brave souls of Lockfear, we're gathered here together in a brotherhood of survival. We need to fight this evil. Do you want to live, or do you just want to die? Do you want this wilderness to overcome you, or do you wish to conquer it? As soldiers of the Empire, I beg you, come with me. Let us defeat this evil once and for all.
Tell me this is where you tell us that 15 is not high enough. And
I'm sorry, the DC check was a 16.
Damn it.
The soldiers are amped. They're cheering. Yeah! A couple of them are clapping, and you hear an "I do" in the background. That was the perfect length to that music.
the music was
Yeah, it was
perfect.
perfect.
good.
Wow, I did that on purpose. I sure did.
Sure.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history.
It was so inspiring that a couple of the other soldiers turned their heads to see what was going on. And they clapped too, but they don't get up to join you.
Oh. Okay.
So the oldest one that's been doing most of the talking goes, I'm sorry, I need to move this. Give us a few hours to get our gear ready. We'll meet you by the gate, say, just after lunch.
I will be there.
We're looking forward to it.
So am I.
All right, is that it for Duriel?
I guess. We'll meet later, I guess.
All right.
We'll make. That was good.
That was really good.
Valen?
Okay, I should be walking with Mary.
Oh, that's right. You guys were going to use the scrying
Mm-hmm.
stone, to send a message to Lars Co.
Mhm.
Okay, so you and Mary walk back over around to her tent where she's staying. She walks in and she reaches underneath her bed and pulls out a trunk. Unlocks it with a key that was around her neck and pulls out from inside of the trunk a almost gemstone-like tablet. It's a dark gray color. It looks like a polished gemstone, but the edges are still like rough.
Okay.
But the surface on either side, like it's got like a flat surface, so it's like
agate.
Sure. Yes, like agate. It's about book-sized.
What?
Are you typing
Okay.
agate in?
Nerd.
No, I'm not typing
No,
anything.
Duriel.
No, I didn't mark that I
Nerd.
had played.
AGA.
Agate typically is smooth on both sides, but rough around the edge.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
appreciate if you guys would stop using that word. We call them homosexuals.
Oh no.
Oh my god, Brian!
You still streaming?
Oh no.
I'm sending this to your employer.
Oh, that's funny.
We've lost all of our viewers, all 0.
I'm still there. Don't worry.
Yeah, kinda. It's like a darkish gray color.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls out a black quill with a bluish gemstone dangling from a chain from the tip of the feather.
Mm.
The bottom of the quill has a golden dipper, I guess, which you would normally write with, but
Yep.
it's rounded on the end, like a fencing sword would be. It's like, it comes like to a point, but then it has like a rounded ball.
Okay.
And she begins to draw symbols onto the scrying stone.
Oh, okay. Can I read what she's writing or no?
They're not words; they're just symbols right now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So she draws a few symbols. It's more than you can really. It's more than like a handful of symbols. So I guess it's more than 5. She then begins to write on the tablet, and after a couple of minutes, she pauses and she goes, "All right, I've written a message to Lars Cove to let him know that we found an odd orb and we intend to send it his way, and we're wondering if he would be willing to give us his to examine it and see if he could tell us anything about it." Anything
Okay.
else that you want me to include in this message?
Not until we have a reply.
She goes, "Okay, I'm going to give him a little backstory on it as well. Is that all right?"
Sure.
So she scribbles a little bit more for a few more minutes, and then she says, "Take a look and let me know if this is okay. Just double check it one more time. I want to make this as succinct as possible. There's no telling when we'll get a response from him."
So I just want to make sure that it has where we found the orb, that it has a link to Sylvanas, that an orb is missing, that it was stolen by someone named Pip, and I'll also tell her she knows my story and what happened to me when I touched the first orb. If she doesn't included that, I'd like her to include that.
Okay.
And then I'd like to see if I can write on the tablet myself and speak to him directly, or write something directly.
She goes, "Sure, here you go." And she hands you the scrying tablet and the scrying stone and the quill.
Okay, 1 second. If I didn't type like a grandfather, that might be quicker.
So she takes the scrying stone back from you, takes one more glance at it, and she goes, "Huh, very interesting."
Mm-hmm.
And then she flips it over and begins writing, drawing symbols on the back.
Okay.
After,
How long do you say?
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
After a few more minutes, she puts the scrying stone back into her and the quill back into the trunk, lock them and put them back under her bed. And she goes, "Okay, it's sent. It may be, it could be anywhere from a few hours to a couple days before we hear back from him. But I'll come back and check the scrying stone in a few hours and see if he has replied."
Is there any way to take it with us, or is it rooted to this spot?
Good question.
The stone itself?
Yes.
No, we can carry it around wherever we want to. I usually keep it
Um,
tucked away because it's valuable and I'm just afraid of something happening to it. They're not exactly a common tool, and not everybody knows that we have one.
If we do go out into the woods on an expedition to Pip, how will we check it regularly?
We're not leaving until this afternoon. Well,
Okay.
we won't be leaving until I'm able to gather some troops together that I know I can trust to go after Piff.
Okay.
So we may be a couple days getting supplies, planning our route, acquiring soldiers, and the likes.
If
The
if
orb
it
I
comes,
would like to send back no later than this evening if we can. The sooner we can
Okay.
get it over to him, even if he hasn't responded, I hope he's at least read it, and we can get it to him as soon as possible. I think it'll be safe in his hands.
Okay. If he hasn't responded by the time we need for the expedition, or by the time the ship is left, we might need to take the stone with.
Very well, I can bring it in my pack if it will make you feel better.
Thank you. And may I see the stone as well?
The scrying stone?
I'm sorry. May I see the sphere as well?
Oh, of course, certainly. She pulls the trunk back out and opens it up and pulls the sphere out to show it to you.
Okay. I'm gonna just hold the stone in my hand. Seth?
Valera has the orb, by the way.
Oh, she pulled nothing
Oh.
out of her trunk and handed nothing to you.
Wow,
Oh,
dang.
wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. I missed that you had the orb. I thought
I
Valera had
completely
it.
forgot. Thank you for
I thought
reminding
Mary
me.
had it in
Yeah.
her pack the whole time.
She
When did you
so
take it?
Valera had it. Mary had it in her trunk overnight. Valera took it in the morning after Mary agreed to let
Okay,
her
I
take
didn't-
it.
I wasn't there for that, so it makes sense why I
And
wouldn't
then
have that. Okay.
and then Valera showed Valen that she had the orb before they came
you're
back to
right.
camp.
I even
I
touched it.
completely forgot.
Oh God, I forgot.
You know what? You know what it was? It was that bad good berry that made him throw up.
Mm.
You're right.
He's having trouble remembering because of that.
Okay, so we both
Mary doesn't do
remember-
those things. She says, "Oh, Valera has the orb right now."
Okay. Then perfect. We can move on, and we'll check the tablet before we leave tonight, and before the next ship leaves, so we can get it to your master as soon as possible.
She goes, "Excellent. I would like to go ahead and at least start making preparations to get the tablet going. If you don't mind, I'm going to step out and start looking for some soldiers to carry it with them and arrange for transport for them over to the mainland."
Sure. And I'll go with you if you.
Sure.
Okay. I'll travel with Mary.
Okay. So you guys go off to do that. Valera.
Hello.
Really appreciate how gentle Valera was in that correction. Just a sec, just so you know, I've got the orb.
I totally forgot, but when you said it, I did remember. Yeah, you. No
I
one else
completely
knows.
forgot.
I think
No,
Mary knows, you know, and I know, and that's
Yeah,
it.
So Howell
Okay.
and Duriel do not know.
no,
You
they
might
don't.
want to get one of those bags from Banks McGee to stick the orb in case Howell goes after it. Valera
But then
doesn't
we
know
couldn't
about
get the
those.
orb out.
Valera doesn't
We'd
know
have
about
to.
those.
We'd have to bring Banks McGee with us everywhere. I'm
Yeah,
sure
no,
Howell would like that.
our party does not know about that, and they would never will. So
Howell shows up later. He's got a red ring around one of his wrists. Bunch of purple dye.
There is one more thing, Toby.
Yeah.
With Mary and I'm going to tell Mary I do want to stop at a merchant of magical goods. But while we're walking around.
She goes, "Oh, sure. I know just the place. I'll take you over there."
Thank you. Okay, perfect.
All right,
Thank you.
So we'll do Valera, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, me. Duh. It's my turn.
Okay, we're skipping Valera.
Back to me. Let's do it.
Let's go, soldiers.
We're all doing such vastly different things, and I really like it.
yeah, this is pretty cool.
All right, so Valera, you are exploring the outpost, just walking around the outpost, looking for people that might know where your the one that you seek has gone.
I'm doing that, and I'm also looking for.
I forgot their name.
Do you need to switch channels?
Nobody knows their names, so.
Okay, well that's good because I don't know their name right now.
Name is Bob.
I'm a good DM. I review your character sheets and your backstories and all of the
Alright.
notes before every
It's in my
session.
text, so I can go back and find it.
I wrote this giant backstory in the character sheet I sent you, and you haven't even read it, Toby.
Did you really write a backstory?
Yeah.
Nice, man.
I wrote a
need to do
backstory
mine.
too. I just didn't send it to Toby.
I don't know if anybody has sent me their level 3 character sheets. I think the only one I have access to is Howell
Oh.
because I have a link to his Orc Pub character sheet.
Oh, well, I'll do that now.
Yeah, I saw your email. Apparently, I just sent you the picture of Valera and
Yep.
not her character sheet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So here's my
I'll
level
do
3
that.
character sheet, just a picture.
How do you
That makes
Valera,
sense.
Valera, you sent me a selfie?
You know what? I think I'm gonna write a backstory tomorrow, Toby. I'll send you something.
I'm excited because I've had many ideas for yours that I really like.
I know you
but
have.
I know
You've really
don't.
been pushing hard.
I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that you're gonna go with one of the ones that I sent you though, because I started planning for it.
The last one you sent me, I thought was really good. I just needed to make some changes.
Okay,
the
alright.
one that's kind of like
Yeah,
Toby,
yeah,
what-
all right. I
Okay,
know
yeah,
that's I really like that one, and I meant
yeah,
to
that's
include
that's
it
fun.
recently in your dream and forgot to, but we can still absolutely do it.
Alright.
Very
Toby,
think
what's
that-
your email again?
I'll send it to you on Discord.
Mr. T. Dukes.
Mr. T.
Or that,
Dukes.
send it to everybody. Let's get me added to a lot
I
of
am
spam
so
lists
sorry.
on Twitch.
My bad.
Now Ross is
Yeah.
going to send you emails.
That was absolutely my fault. I'm sorry.
That is not what I wanted. I don't want Ross emailing me.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Toby.
Oh no, that's fine. It's not like it's my home address.
Yeah, but still.
Thank you, Toby.
Valera is wandering around the outpost looking for people that might know the one she's looking for.
I'll be right back.
So she's going to look for if there's any bard groups, any traveling musicians who are there who are working for the inn or anything. And she's going to start by asking if they have any strings for her lute that she could buy off of them.
So as you wander around, you start to get kind of close to the merchant section. You're kind of in between like the merchants and the soldiers, and you hear music. You hear strumming.
So she goes towards the sound.
Low, bassy strumming. And as you get closer, you can hear like you hear a flute that is joined in, and there is also a pitter-patter of a drum-like instrument.
Okay.
So you're going in the direction of the music?
Yes.
All right, so as you approach, you see three people. One of them is playing a rather large instrument. It looks like a lute, but it's a lot bigger, and the strings look thicker. Another one is sitting on top of a wooden box and tapping on the front, and a third just has a flute, a wooden flute that they're playing. And they've got a small crowd around them. Oh, I should have got music ready for this. Hang on.
The only Toby, maybe you can get one of the random people who has your email address to do something interesting.
Yes. 3 viewers, can you guys send me music? Oh, you know what? Hang on. Give me just a minute. I know I'm delaying the game again, but I'm hoping this might be maybe worth it.
I'm actually really excited. Toby did come up with a really awesome idea for my backstory. I think tomorrow I'm gonna work on it. I'll share it with you guys because it'll be. I'm not a secretive person, so I don't know if y'all know it.
I almost want you to not share it. I think it'll be better if they discover it.
You
just
want
like
the big
you're
surprise?
discovering their
Okay,
backstories.
all right.
I think,
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's a good idea.
because I really
It'll be a
like
good
yours,
surprise.
and I want to use it
All right,
and stuff. So I want it to come up in like an unexpected way.
all right. That's a good idea.
I hope this works.
I like to sing, dance, pretend, and I like to have fun.
Is this what Valera hears as she gets closer to the bard group?
Oh no! My immersion is ruined.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm there now. All right, so they're playing for a small crowd.
It's a
of
little
people.
loud. It's a little loud.
You have to lower the volume yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My volume for rhythm is like 1.
I've got mine at like 13% right now. 12%.
Ooh. As the kazoo comes in, Valera comes in with her pan flute and starts playing.
No, I like it. I like it. Roll performance.
Okay, wait. Oh my god.
Why are you so
I have a
white?
huge proficiency bonus for this.
A huge one?
Yeah.
You should. You're a bard.
Uh.
Mine's a +4.
It is funny that Valera started glowing whiter on camera as the bass kicked in.
The magic controls her music.
I mean, she is a bard.
Yeah.
+8.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's good.
So they continue playing alongside you. As the music finishes, the crowd around you guys claps, and one of the bards goes, "That was really good. How long have you been playing?"
11 is mediocre at best.
She passed her skill check. That's all you need to know.
She explains that she's been a traveling bard ever since she was a kid.
Wow, you're very talented. Are you part of a troupe?
She said she was, but she's not anymore.
Oh. What happened? What was the troupe called?
I know
The
that there was a
11s.
name at one point. I don't remember what we called it, Toby.
Oh, wow. That's
Hey,
a fascinating troupe name. You guys must be one of the newer, edgier
Hi, Kinsey.
ones. Hey, Kinsey.
Hey.
Oh.
Hi, Kenzo.
We're in
How
the
about
middle of our D&D game.
The TP.
Oh, gross. Why am I here?
Should watch our stream.
Oh, there's a stream?
There's a
How
stream.
do I...
Click Toby's name in Discord. I'll take you to the stream.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
isn't that neat?
I feel like a creep.
Anyway, they
Not because you're
go.
watching.
Good song.
It's just
So they go. Anyway, we're the double troubles. If you're not with anyone now, we'd love for you to join us.
Yeah, she says that she's currently on a different mission, but that she'd love to play with them in the future.
She goes,
And go ahead.
no, you go on.
She was gonna ask if they had any strings that would work for a lute that she just found.
They go, oh, that's a shame. We actually just recently lost a member. We were, so we've been hoping to fill it. We were afraid we were going to have to go back to the mainland to do so, and it looks like that might still be true then if you won't join us. Actually, the guy that used to be with us left some of his stuff behind, and I think he may have strings. He was a lute player. Can I see your lute? We'll see if they fit.
She pulls the lute out from her bag.
They take a look at the lute for a second. They take it from your hands and they examine it. And they both look up. They look up at you. They both. There's three of them. They look up at you with these serious, stern faces. Like one of them has like shock on their eyes, and they go, "Where did you find Strumson's lute?"
His name is Strumson's. I'm sorry. The immersion is ruined again.
I couldn't think of a better name.
Strum son.
Wait, Toby, I'm gonna message you something. Where are you? Here you are.
Child of Strum Daddy. Strum Pop.
Strum Dad.
It's Teakin's Strum Daddy. Yeah.
Tegan Strum Daddy.
Well, please don't.
Strum me, senpai.
Mm.
You gotta stop yawning. We've been doing this for 30
I,
minutes.
back and forth, back and forth, back.
She asks them where, how long that they'd been traveling with, what is his name? Strumson?
Strumson?
Strum Daddy.
Strumson?
Name in the world,
Strumson.
Strum Daddy,
Strum Pop.
Strumson.
Strumpocalypse.
Is-
Strumpocalypse.
Is everyone a version of
You said
Apocalypse? Is
version,
every
yeah.
NPC like
No.
Bob
we have-
Apocalypse?
You missed Banks McGee
Strum
earlier.
You
Pop.
That
missed
was
Banks
the
Did
best.
miss
McGee
Banks
earlier.
McGee.
Ryan Harms, the brothers in arms, last session. Lyric has shown up twice. I like him a
Lyric's a
lot.
good one. I really
I
like
like
Lyric.
Lyric a lot.
Lyric is one of my
He
favorites.
smells weird and issues, but I like Lyric.
What? What?
Lyric is a blind dwarf bard that has taken a liking to Valen and seems to be friends with everyone.
We're buddies.
Nice.
I'm so sorry.
They say that they have been traveling with Strumson for a couple of years now. It was on
Traveling.
and off at first, but they were with him for a while until they got here recently, and then he left.
Has he always had this loot, or did he purchase it from someone?
Hang on. I'm gonna message you something
Okay.
to clarify.
I need to buy a third monitor.
Man, I've got 4 and I love
Dang.
it.
Yeah, I need a third.
Sometimes I wonder if I could make a 5th work.
I mean, I had 3 for a while, and then I went down to 2 because I gave one to someone, and I just need a third again.
I use
Because
an
this
old,
is America.
I use an old
ADD.
laptop screen, and it works really well, and it's perfectly sized for like a side monitor, vertical,
Yeah,
like 17
I
inches.
mean, I've got an old laptop, so
And they're not expensive. I mean, the screen itself is. I mean, you've got it. You just have to find the model number and a.
Yeah.
and a controller board for it.
How much was your controller board?
I think I paid about 25 for the control board and then another 10 for a power supply. So 35
Okay,
still-
bucks.
D&D.
No, this is
You loot the power supply.
Actually, I think I'm bringing it to the LAN party Friday instead of one of my regular monitors
Yeah, you told me
because
that.
it's smaller, easier to
Yeah.
transport. So they say that they were traveling with Strumson for just a couple years, and he has always had the loot with him since he's been with them. He usually played on it until the strings broke.
Okay. When they met him, was he traveling with anyone else?
No, he had mentioned that he had been traveling alone for just a few months prior to meeting us, and before that, I think he might have been with someone else. He said he got the loot from a friend of his.
Where was this friend?
He was, they parted ways in Ambercrest. They had gone to do a show, he said, in Ambercrest, and the guy apparently really liked it there and said he was going to stay when Strumson said he wanted to move on and travel some more and see some other places. Strumson grew up in a fairly well-to-do family, but didn't get out a lot, so he really enjoyed traveling. Sounded to us when he described the situation like the other guy liked picking a spot that was liked picking a nice spot that was good to him and staying there for a little bit, milking it, the way Strumson put it.
Valera asks if she can take the strings that he left. And that she tells them that she found the loot on a body and that it might have been their friend.
Great bedside manner. Can I have his stuff? He's dead.
I found his body.
Well, they did bury the body. They did bury the body. So they
Who's? Oh, the minstrels did.
What?
The minstrels.
No, you guys.
You found the loot on a buried body.
Did we
you
bury
dig
it?
a
No,
grave?
we buried the body.
You guys
We did?
found the loot on the body of a guy at that camp that was on the other side of the mountain.
I remember that.
At the
I didn't
end.
remember.
Yeah,
Was
that
that,
was a zombie loot.
No, it was before that. It was at the camp. The camp was at like the base of the mountain on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
This was like right when we came out of the cave.
Yeah, and then you guys traveled to up the mountain
camp.
along the path. Well, you traveled to the cave. After the cave, you went to the camp. And then you traveled from the camp. You found the map that was highlighting the or no, I'm sorry. The body was right outside the cave.
Yeah.
You
It
found
was
the,
like around. It was like by a tree by the cave.
you found the body right outside the cave, and he had like a little flyer in his pocket and a map sketched on it, and the map pointed to a camp and a path across the mountain, and you guys traveled to that after, but you buried the body.
Sure, we did.
Wink, wink.
So what do they
I
say?
can't prove it.
Whether or not you can keep it,
Whether or not I can keep what?
the loot and the strings.
No, what did they say to me saying that their friend is dead?
Oh.
But
And
I
that
buried
they-
the body.
That they buried the body when they found him.
What did he look like? Are you sure it was him?
There was a paper on the body that had your band's markings on it.
That must have been him. He always did carry a flyer just in case he ran into someone he could share it with.
Is this the medieval version of subscribe?
Like it, then subscribeth, good sir.
It's the medieval version of a band T-shirt.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Valera gives her condolences and yeah.
they kind of look at each other and they sigh and they go, "Look, none of us really know how to play the lute except for Bassy McBaseface over here, and we don't really have much of a use for it. Why don't you hold on to it?"
She said she appreciates it and that if they ever cross paths again, maybe when her journey is up, she will join their group.
Sounds like a plan. Let's see if we can find you some strings.
Okay.
So they sorry, I've been scrolling through our old text messages looking for
the name.
Yeah, and I can't.
I think I
got it. All right. I just
Oh,
scrolled
you do?
past
Wait,
it,
message
yeah.
it to me so I remember.
Oh.
It's been since like
You
September
would think it'd be in
since
your
we talked
story.
about this. Yes.
You
Well, then
think
you
it
look at your own
That's what I
sheet and you
no,
see
that's
it.
what I thought. That's what I thought it was, Toby, but I couldn't remember if it was that or a different name, and I think the other name was the one that I had been thinking before we came up with that one.
All right. So they go, "Look, here's some strings here. Here's his journal as well. If you think you might find some information, you're looking for this."
Sorry.
They pull it out. He pulls out the journal and he goes, "Look, here's some strings for the lute, and here's a journal. This flyer is in it. This might be the previous group he was with. You might try looking for them, maybe. Maybe if they're not the one, they can, maybe they'll know more about him."
Valera thanks them and says that she she will take good care of his belongings. And then she leaves.
Brian, I really like this shirt.
I do too. The kiwi.
I love that shirt.
The
Yeah.
kiwi. Oh.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Oh, that's cool.
Thanks.
So the flyer has a has another group mentioned on it called the they call themselves the Drumbledores.
Yeah.
And they're playing at the it says that they are playing at the or located at the Lazy Drunkard Tavern in Ambercrest.
Okay. Valera's gonna go look for Valen and Mary.
All right. So Valen is looking for a magic shop with Mary, right?
Yes.
Okay. I gotta come up with more names.
You should.
I need
Magic
to I need
McShop.
to just make these up when I'm.
Ooh, how about Magic Johnson?
Um.
Magic Mike.
You should task. I mean, look, you do a lot of the creative thinking. You should tell us that we have to contribute stuff like that. Give us.
I'm okay with that.
Like tell us, hey, you've got to come up with some names.
Actually I
I'm
do
totally
sometimes. I have let people come up with some of the names for stuff, but it's mostly been like backstory related things so far.
Yeah.
Chris Angel.
Yes, Valera created Chris Angel. If you didn't know, it's canon in our world. The Chris Angel that we know is made by Valera.
Interesting.
It's
actual
very yeah. It's powerful magic.
It's the first magician that came to my mind.
Chris
Angel.
the little emo in me going.
I get it. I do.
So you come up, she goes, "Look, this is where I get all of my magical supplies. He's one of the best in Ambercrest. I'm really surprised that he's out here. You're at a small cart with a door on it, and it has a little sign that says The Mystical Mystic on the outside."
Okay.
Michael the Magic.
That's Michael. If he was gonna let me name it, that's exactly who I was gonna.
Michael the Magic.
Michael the Mag.
Michael the Magic.
I don't know. Anyway, okay. So Mary and I walk inside, and I look to see if I
Alright.
can find Michael the Magic.
So as you walk inside, so this is a small cart. This thing looks like this would be tiny for a tiny home.
Okay.
And as you walk in, you're expecting only like enough room to like seat like a couple of people inside. You
Mhm.
walk into a pretty respectably sized
Oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
shop.
Okay.
I guess you
Okay.
could say it's bigger on the inside.
Yes, perfect. And is there?
Because it's Michael the Magic.
Michael the Magic.
That was a little bit of Professor, or I mean, who's the lobster?
Oh, Zoidberg.
Zoidberg.
Wait. Yeah.
Who was the lobster?
Raise the robot.
Hooray for the robot. So is the magician or the salesperson inside the?
You don't see anyone. There's a lot of like shelves with different magical things. There's a couple of like vials and
Vials and
vials and Kinsey, correct me on this. Are they called Erlenmeyer flasks?
They are called Erlenmeyer flasks. You
Wow, I
are
got
correct.
that
Wow, nicely
Yeah.
done, dude.
I feel like I'm talking
alright.
to a colleague right now.
Wow. Well, I have fooled you with a really good deception roll.
Are you the magic one?
Michael.
Michael's magic.
They're not called Erlenmeyer flasks in this world because
Can
Erlenmeyer
he escape?
doesn't
I don't
exist.
know.
But
Maybe
they are what would be
maybe
called
Erlenmeyer could have.
Erlenmeyer flasks in our. What came out of your mouth?
A key? Is that a key?
Did you drop a good
Yeah.
He had one stuck in his cheek this whole time.
Oh my gosh. Oh, disgusting.
Anyway, keep
Whew.
going. It tastes horrible. It tastes really bad. Keep going.
You see these vials and what you know as Merlinmeyer flasks.
LOL.
Don't make that face, Blair. You know you like it. Different substances boiling. Some of them not. Some of them are reacting with no flame underneath. All sorts of little magical trinkets and objects and jars, just full of stuff all over different shelves throughout the shop. Mary walks up to a desk at the back and rings a little bell.
Okay.
From a back, there's a curtain behind the desk, so like a countertop desk thingy. There's a door and a curtain covered by a curtain, and through it out comes a middle-aged looking half-elf.
Okay.
He's got a slightly disfigured face on one side, like his skin is melted a little bit and scarred, and then just kind of healed that way. So it's like, not like it's fresh, but like he's damaged his face at some point pretty severely. He goes, "Oh, Mary, what are you doing here? Who is your friend? How can I help you guys?"
Does Mary want to talk first, or do I want to talk first?
You should be like,
He forgot that he's married.
Yeah. So I guess Mary will talk.
Oh, he's so excited. I can't wait.
David Wayne, this is my friend Valen. He needs some
my.
magical stuff.
David Wayne.
He's looking for magical supplies, he said, and I told him you were the best. Valen, why don't you tell him what you need?
I want to hear David Blaine's response.
you should throw in words like handsome to David Wayne.
I should what?
Okay.
No, I'm talking to
Okay,
Blake.
I'll say David. Hi, David. Nice to meet you. I have a very
Handsome.
specific request.
What do you need? He makes intense eye contact with you.
Ooh.
I'm looking for something with something akin to an undetectable extension charm, like you might have put on this tent, that can store things larger than it looks like it can store, but that can only be accessed by a certain person. Do you have something like that, or can something like that be created?
A magical bag.
Basically, that can only be accessed by one person.
Yeah, I might have something like that. Let me take a look. He walks back behind the curtain, and he comes back holding a what looks like a normal canvas bag.
Mhm.
It is dark brown if color matters to you.
Mhm.
One strap, you would sling it over, so it's like a messenger bag.
Mhm.
And it has a couple of symbols embroidered into the like lower left corner of the flap that closes over the messenger bag.
And what can this bag do, David Wayne?
He goes, "This is a very special bag of holding. When you open..."
Sorry, just to pause. You just a very special bag of holding, and then I see your eyes go right up to the camera. Oh.
Can it hold good berries?
When you open this bag, it will opening the lid, the flap of the bag. And sorry, I've got a mouthful of Cheez-Its right now. I can't really talk. When you open the flap of the bag, it looks like a normal bag inside. But if you close the flap, touch the symbols in a specific pattern, and then open it, it's a lot bigger on the inside.
This is getting way more sexual.
Can it hide things from other people?
What are you trying to hide?
Yeah,
What do you
it's
think
very
he's
good
trying to
for
hide?
protecting goods from bandits, unless they take the whole bag itself.
And if a bandit were to take the bag, would they be able to access the goods inside without the code?
Not without the code.
And how much is the bag?
He looks at Mary intensely, and then looks back at you intensely. 150 gold.
I have 85 gold.
Mary goes,
Mary, what do you have?
Valen, what are your plans for this bag?
Mary, I'm trying to keep orb safe. I don't want it to be taken. I don't want it to be able to be accessed by anyone else. I want to keep it protected, even if it's to be taken from us. I want it to be kept so that it can't be used or destroyed by anyone else.
Mary looks at you for a second, then turns and looks at David Wayne and goes, "David, put this on my tab. We'll be employing Valen and his associates. We'll cover the cost of this bag for him."
Dude,
Yas, B.
nice. All right.
Thank you, fucking Mary. Because I'm broke.
So David goes, "You got it." He makes intense eye contact with you, and he goes, "Let me show you how to use it."
Okay.
So he shows you how to open the bag.
Okay. And he shows me the code. Right?
Yes, that's what I mean. He shows you the code. Not just, he doesn't just lift
This
the
is
flap.
how you
just
open
goes,
a bag.
Hey, we'll have a good time, guys.
Describe the eye contact when he's showing him how to open the bag.
You know when people look in two different directions at the same time?
He's not a chameleon.
Buscemi? The Buscemi look?
Yeah. Maybe he was waving at me. Yeah, exactly that. Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I want to keep this as safe as possible, and I figured that a magical item that could store it without it being taken is the best possible solution.
She goes, "You're welcome. But I'm only agreeing to do this if you and your associates are willing to sign up with me."
If it's to protect the orb and help my god, then yes. But if our purposes don't align there, then I will have a problem.
She
But
says,
if we're
"I want to hire you mercenaries to help me stop Piff. I don't know what he's doing. I don't think he's with the rival kingdom, but whatever he's up to, I think that we need to at least find out what it is. So I want to hire you guys to work for me to help stop him."
I personally will agree to that as long as it is in line with me protecting my god. And I can't speak for the others, but I can speak for myself and say that I will join you as long as the purpose is to protect Sylvanas.
She goes, "Very well. I have only the best interests of Ambercrest in mind for this."
You should tell her that she probably needs to buy another bag to get Howl on board.
Yeah. Yeah, the others might not be so altruistic. Let's put it that way. But for me, material possessions aren't the point.
David Wayne goes, if you don't mind me saying, you might not want to tell your colleagues about this bag either then. That would keep your orb or whatever you want to, your precious treasure, the most safe.
I don't plan on telling anyone about this. This is between you, David Wayne, me, and Mary, and that's it. And the orb. So I plan on telling no one. So good advice.
Okay.
And whatever pillow talk passes between Mary and Hal. Don't forget.
Does she know you're on her pillow?
You say that, but Valera was the one in her tent last night, so.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
I'm gonna thank David and grab the bag and sling it over my shoulder and walk out with Mary.
He says,
And go to find Valera.
David goes, "You're welcome." And then as you turn to leave, he goes, "Hey, wait. Is this your card?" And he holds up a playing card that has a Queen of Spades on it.
Queen of Spades?
You just very quietly stare at David.
Where did you find that?
Out
It's
of
a
my
magic trick.
out of my deck of cards over here on the counter.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I'll take that with me.
You reach out to grab it from him, and it disappears from his hand. And he goes, "Check your left shoe."
I really need
reached
David
down.
Wayne to disappear into the back room like Zoidberg.
So I'm gonna reach down to my left shoe and see if the card is there.
You reach down, and sure enough, you feel a card in your shoe under your foot. Do you take your shoe off to get it?
Yes, absolutely.
You take your shoe off, and you reach in and pull the card out, and it looks on the back. It looks like it has the same back as the other playing cards. When you flip it over, it has the symbol of Sylvanas on it.
Oh fuck! All right, I'm gonna take that. I mean, poop.
I'll be right back.
Streaming.
And as you pull it out, and then look back at David Wayne, he's standing there going, and he backs away into the behind the curtain again.
What up, playa?
Why does he slither like that?
Mostly from that bit.
Okay, well that's perfect. So now I'm going to find Valera.
Okay. So I guess you and Valera reconvene. A few hours have passed now, and it is roughly afternoon.
Okay. Do I still have time to talk really quick?
Sure.
Valera, can you and I talk really quickly? Alone?
Yes.
You want me to kick them out?
Right.
Hold on. I'll kick
No.
them out.
Okay. All right, perfect. Valera,
Hello.
I have a way to protect the orb. Because I don't trust Howl or Duriel and their
Motives.
motives. But I do trust you, and I have a way to protect the orb, I think, from being taken. If you give it back to me, I'll show you how to protect it.
Why don't you show me first?
Well, I mean, so I can show you the bag. So I pull out the bag and I show, and so it's got an undetectable extension charm on it, so it can carry the orb and keep it safe. It's basically like a trans-dimensional safe. So without the proper code, they can't get the orb. No one else can get the orb unless they have the code. And I would die before I let the code be known, because I believe this is important to me and my God. So if you will give the orb to me, and Mary knows about this as well, I'll put the orb here to keep it safe, so that no one else can take it.
Valera seems a little reluctant, but she concedes.
Okay. So I'll take the orb, and put it in the bag, and do the and put in the code to seal it away so it can't be accessed by anyone else. And Valera, if it will make you more comfortable, you can carry the bag. I just want to make sure that it can't be taken while we're sleeping and used or destroyed without us knowing.
So Howl and Duriel don't realize that I have the bag,
So
that I had the
They'll
orb
see-
in general.
So
So,
they'll see a I mean, the bag won't be hidden. If you wear the bag, it will look like a regular messenger bag with
Right.
some symbols stitched on it.
so they'll see it. They'll know you have a bag, and they'll know you have the bag that I was carrying. They don't know that you have the orb. They think that Mary has the orb and that it's back in camp. So we have that protection as well. So not only do we have the deception part where they think it's somewhere else, we also have the fact that you have the orb and you have it in basically a traveling safe. So even if they or anyone else is to take the bag, they can't access the orb.
sounds good.
So would you like to carry the bag?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll give the bag to you to keep carrying the orb. If you need the orb out of the bag, let me know and I'll take it out.
Okay. And did he show her the code or no?
I didn't. I took the bag from you. I pushed the digits or the symbols on the bag, and then I put it in the bag, closed it, and pushed the symbols again, and it's like the orb kind of disappeared into the bag.
Okay. So she says that she doesn't want to know the code anyway, because if
And that's
if
my
she
point.
were to
If
be
you're
caught,
taken,
if she gets caught, then it's definitely this person who would know the code.
exactly. So the point of me not telling you the code isn't to say that I'm not trusting you with it. It's just to say that if I know the code and I know that I would die before I let the code out because I think it's protecting my god, then it's a secret with one person is stronger than a secret with two. So yeah.
Sounds good.
So if you can keep it, you can carry it, you can walk off with it, but it can't be accessed without the code.
Okay.
Toby, are you good with all this?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm good to go back. Thank you for that.
I just started ignoring him.
Good call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Before going forward, Valera mentions to Valen that she would like to travel to Ambercrest if possible.
Okay.
All right. So, I guess Howl and Duriel meet back up with them as well.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we had a non-DM sanctioned conversation Howland earlier. We've come to an agreement on something.
Oh boy.
I've established that I do not want Howl with my raiding party.
He asked me for help, and I offered it and made my intention clear. And he said, "I don't want your help anymore."
I'm good.
Too bad.
You're now an accessory regardless of what you want.
You didn't know what you were getting yourself into.
Okay, so it is afternoon now. And Mary says, "So have you guys given any thought to what you'd like to do? Will you take this orb for me?"
The sword?
Orb.
Oh, orb. Yeah, I'll take the orb.
To Lars Co.
Oh, I thought he was coming here.
Well, we don't know yet.
No.
We have to check back. So we don't know anything about the orb and where to put it. But first, we need to decide once we find that out if we're going to travel across or stay here and find Pip.
She goes, "Let me
We
see
still-
if he's responded," and she walks off to her tent. She hollers
Okay.
back as she's walking away, "I'll meet you with Rennick in his tent."
Okay. So discuss. I'll be right back. Discuss.
So,
I've actually got this bag that was foolproof for keeping that orb safe. Valera, come here and stick your
Toby
hand in.
smile.
I know. I took a second. I was like, "Are you mad again?" No, I know what's bad. Howell holds up his hand. It's still in the bag. So I guess you guys walk over to Rennick's tent.
Yes.
And you're walking. You're still walking. Valen's walking a little behind everybody else, but he's also
Who
walking.
who all? You want me to walk there too?
I guess everybody.
I mean, I've got a group of soldiers to meet.
You also agreed to meet with Rennick and Mary.
No, we were still establishing whether or not we were going to get on a boat.
Well, that's what this discussion is for.
That's what the meeting's about.
Oh, okay.
So what would Duriel do? Would Duriel walk off to go meet his meet the other guys, or would he go with Howell, Valera, and Valen?
Well, are the soldiers met at the gate yet?
I mean, if Duriel walked over there, he might find them, but he would have to go to see.
You'd have to what?
He'd have to go to see if they're there waiting for him, if they actually showed up or
Brian.
not.
Did you just do cocaine? What was that sound?
That's why he's smiling
Blowing
now.
my nose. I'm like 15 days into this bug. I'm almost off of it.
The cocaine.
Cocaine's a heck of a bug.
I think Duriel would probably go towards the gate.
Okay. So Howell, Valen, and Valera all go to the tent then.
Sure. Valera, when they meet up, Valera asks for her cut. Her
Oh
money.
yeah, same. I need my money too.
Oh, you should go see Rennick.
Valera just stares at him with her hand out.
Howell hands over the.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna. Wait, what was the last thing we were doing? Going back to the.
Mary wanted to meet you guys at Rennick's tent, and she was going to go and check the scrying stone to see if Lars Coe had responded.
That's important. So I'm gonna follow her.
Okay. Valera and Howell.
I mean,
Is she gonna meet them there?
She was gonna meet you guys at Rennick's tent.
Oh, if we're just meeting,
has Mary approached the rest of us yet about hiring us to do this thing, or just Valen?
Just Valen.
Valen, do you want to talk to us about it, or
So
you wanna
Howell
wait for
doesn't
Mary
know
to
anything
broach the
about this
subject?
right now.
yeah, I'm gonna say Mary has a proposition, and before I didn't agree for you guys, but I do want her to tell you what she has. I do want her to say her piece, basically. So we should go back.
This is a
to hear
job?
that. It would be a job, yes.
Okay,
It would
let's
be.
go talk to Mary.
She did specifically say she would hire us, so it is a job.
And you've not discussed rates, wages?
Nope, none of that.
Valera says as long as there's paid passage back to Ambercrest, she's in.
As long as there's paid everything that we're doing. I'm in.
So, Toby, do I have time to go to the woods first, or no? Before we meet everyone.
This is just a few minutes.
Okay, so
She's
I'm
literally
just gonna
walking
follow
to her
everyone.
tent to check the scrying stone and then meeting you
Okay.
guys.
Perfect. Okay, let's do that then.
She's bringing this grindstone with us, right? So that we get a response.
We haven't. I don't think we've decided on that yet.
So you guys get to the tent, and Mary's walking in right behind you guys carrying the stone. She goes, "I got a response.
Mm.
He's willing to help. He said something about it sounds familiar, but he can't pinpoint exactly what. He's going to do a little bit of research, but he wants you to bring it to him as soon as he wants the orb as soon as he can get it so that he can take a look. He said if it's what he thinks it is, it might be very powerful, and he might have a way to track others."
Okay,
Okay.
that's good to know. Mary, are you still? If this is I mean, if you agree with your master's point of view, are you still going to look for Pippin and stay here on the island, or go
She
with
says,
us?
I'd like to stay here and make preparations. I know a little bit about
Pippin.
the ruins, having gone through them,
sorry.
and I'd like to prepare some of the soldiers for a journey and see if we can't get a head start before Lars Co. is able to determine anything.
Okay. So okay, in that case, and it's made clear by the tablet that he wants us to come to him, correct?
I feel safest giving you guys the orb to transport.
So I say that I'm going to go back to the mainland.
Valera agrees.
I mean, oh wait, does Mary want to talk to us about the job? She's been kind of
Mary thinks she's already talked about the job and agreed to hiring you guys as a team with Valen.
Mary, Valen said that you're interested in hiring us to go forward with the rest of this. I understand that you've already worked out wages with him. I'd like to discuss that with you.
She says, "Yes, I already spoke with Valen. I've thought I hired all of you. To be honest, where's Duriel?"
And I'm gonna say, Mary. I only said that I could speak for myself, but not the others. I would join and help in any way I could, as long as it was within my goals. But I couldn't speak for the others with this.
I can confirm he's absolutely not speaking for me. If you want us to work, I need to know what we're being compensated with.
Very well. What would it take, Valera and Howell, to get your to secure your help with this?
What are the details of this this job?
I want you guys to work with me to find out whatever Piff is up to and stop him.
Is this, I mean, is that the absolute end goal, or is there a time frame involved in this?
I don't know. We don't know what these orbs are. We don't know what other challenges we might come across. We don't know if these are good or bad, if they're strong, if they're weak, if they're magic at all, or if it's just a trick being played on us. We don't know if a rival kingdom is up to this or what's going on. I don't. Right now, that's my game plan. Piff has stolen an orb, and I would like to know why.
Well, you know what I'm worth. You've seen me in a fight. I mean, if it comes to battle, I'll sacrifice Duriel and do all the damage. I just need to know that I'm going to be compensated for this.
Duriel fears the disturbance in the forest from wherever he is. For some reason, he feels a small dislike towards Howl.
He's chatting up. Somebody goes, "You know what? I hate Howl."
You know what? I think I'll kick Hal's ass tomorrow.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old
Listen,
man?
man.
You don't have any idea? I mean, I understand that you've got a mission that you sound like you're taking this seriously and there's conviction in your voice, but I don't work for free. Can we agree to weekly pay?
Howl, tell me what you need.
How much? How many weeks into this campaign are we? In game, not not
Very
the
far into it,
half a year
honestly.
we've been doing this.
We've just been here for a few days, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually, we set up our characters. The first time we accessed Roll20 was last month of last
I mean,
year.
yeah, but how many days have passed in game? We've only had 2 or 3 long rests.
Yeah.
Just a few.
So,
I'd say you're just under
3 or 4
week.
days?
Just under a week.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you guys were underground for a while too, in the cave and the ruins.
My fee will be 100 gold a week.
She goes, 100 gold a week? There's nothing else.
I don't know how much. I know my character's probably has a good idea of what the economy is in this game world, but I don't really know what is worth money, unfortunately.
She goes,
And
Your booty.
Girl, it's a booty hole. Kinsey, I
love
forgot you were here.
Yeah, and the best part about that is it wasn't just your voice. The crackle came on too. It's like someone came on the PA and announced your booty and then cut the line.
Yo, booty.
Yeah, 100 gold a week. Travel expenses paid, right? Supplies, food,
PTO.
lodging.
She goes, "We have good funding at the magic school for this expedition, but I don't know if our coffers are that deep. Can you agree to help me for now, and I'll see what I can do?
I need something in return, Mary.
You're going to get paid."
One night alone. No.
Very well.
Toby, I don't
No,
want to repeat this with
Toby.
you.
Very well. Mary goes, "If that's what it will take, I will do this."
Shake
on it?
Whew, it's getting hot in here. Can I have
Mary
like
holds
some
her
kind
hand
of
out
pay?
to shake your hand.
Can I have some kind of pay up front? If 100 a week isn't doable right now, start me off with something. We're about to embark back out again. I'm gonna have to shop for supplies. Give me a stipend.
Look,
What do you pay?
Very well. I will match Rennick's pay.
100 gold. Perfect.
Rennick paid you 50.
How do you know?
Each of you 50. I
Was
was
she there?
standing here in the tent with you.
Fine, I'll take everyone's 50 and I'll distribute it later.
She hands you a pouch of 50 gold from her own pocket.
All right. Deal.
And then as she hands it to you, she goes, "And let me know if you want that night alone. I'll make that
Alright, Mary.
arrangement for
Yeah.
you."
It's an
Okay.
arrangement. It's not even her.
Okay.
Oh no! Wait.
It's Duriel.
I'm not even there. You can't bring me into this conversation.
Valera asks. She says, she would like some help locating someone after she helps with this task.
Absolutely. Whatever you need.
Okay. She's happy.
All right.
So she hands Valen and Valera some gold as well.
How much?
Oh.
50.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She asks, will we have Duriel's help as well?
Duriel's murdering an old woman. We don't know what he wants to do.
Girl's about to commit some kind of murder. I really want to see how this plays out.
Okay,
If you're interested in asking Duriel, we should probably head to the gates leading west out of the
You
city.
don't know where I am.
Yes,
How?
actually, Duriel
we had a
walked
conversation,
off.
Duriel.
okay,
Oh,
well,
that's right. I don't know what you guys said because you said it off stream.
but also Toby.
No, we didn't. We didn't actually talk.
If
Like
we're
character
leaving,
wise.
Oh.
if we're leaving the tent, I'm gonna go back to where I was before, where I went to sleep, because I'm waiting for something.
Okay. So Mary goes, "Very well. I'll see if I can track down Duriel, and can you guys try to track down Duriel? I'm gonna get arrangement for you guys to leave tonight on a merchant ship. Will that work?"
It works for me.
Yes, that works.
She says, "Meet me down at the landing in 2 hours
Done.
or 3 hours. Let's say 3 hours. We'll give you time.
3
to do
hours is
everything at
good,
once.
yeah.
All right. By nightfall. And that is where we're gonna end it tonight.
What?
Yay.
We have been going
Albert,
for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
The epic battle would take so long, man. You gotta. But we'll be there. We'll all be there to witness your bloody glory. Albert's really convinced that he can solo this wolf because he thinks
Albert,
it's two
he's
levels
done.
lower
Did
than
I say
him.
solo? I didn't say
Albert,
solo.
if
what?
I come back and find,
That's
this
why
wolf
I'm
pup
trying
dead.
to go.
if I find my wolf pup dead, because I'm waiting, I'm going back to the woods, and
Yeah,
if I
to
find
what?
a wolf pup body,
Are you going into the wolf cave?
No, not the wolf cave. I'm just going back into the woods. And if I find a wolf pulp, bad. Yes. If I find a wolf pup body,
Wolf pup pulp.
if I find a wolf pup pulp, I will have a problem.
Duriel doesn't know that Valen met with the does he?
He doesn't know
No.
jack squat.
And Valen doesn't know about Duriel talking to the soldiers either.
He doesn't know about his little Gaston moment where
and
he
part of the-
rallied up the villagers to go and
And
murder
that's
the
one of the reasons that I left is because I didn't want to hear anything to sway my judgment.
I
But
gotcha.
but I am planning. I was already planning on going back to the woods anyway because I set that sentinel earlier. So
Okay.
Right, but we'll be out there. We should be out there faster than you are.
oh no,
You guys
you've been doing stuff outside of me. So I should get there way after you guys, but I don't know what's going on. I'm just walking back to the woods because I was supposed to walk back to the woods.
I guess
having
we'll
anything to do with
find
you.
out in 2 weeks.
We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball.
Can you do that? Can you do that for our outro? I'll start the music and you just scream.
Are you saying Duriel or
You, Valen.
I don't think Valen's not a screamer.
What about Blake? Is Blake a screamer?
Yeah. Yeah.